Hello guys, it's Angelina and Dima from Walking on World. Today we'll share with you our first impressions of the new tent. From brand 3F UL Gear, and it is Lanshan 2 Pro tent. As you may know already, we upgraded to a new tent last year, MSR Elixir 2, that is self-standing model, we never tried before. And we've done several reviews of that, including the detailed one. And we were and still are very happy about it after using it during last summer season, as we think it is great quality tent.
Write in the comments below the video reviews we made and in the social media groups. It was recommended to us several times to try this Lanshan 2 Pro tent, mentioning that it is a pretty lightweight and at the same time very budget friendly. And basically it is a budget alternative to the epic Zipex duplex tent that costs at least 5 times more than this guy. And if you know us, we're all about exploring different options, especially budget friendly ones, and test if they're any good. So as you can see, we didn't hesitate long and decided to get this tent and see how it is for ourselves. And of course, share it all with you. As always, it will be a first impressions video and not a full review that we're going to do after the whole season of hiking and testing it for some period of time. So let's get started.
Here you can see it in our hands. In our opinion, it is very compact and feels very light. We can see it is made of the light materials and it is more thought for ultralight hikers, for whom the weight is a big concern. The compression bag is quite standard and can be compressed quite nicely. It is more reminiscent to sleeping bag type of pack. The fabric is quite thin, as is the tent itself, but solidly waterproof.
The whole tent body is made of 20D double silicone fabric with a waterproof index of 2000 mm, and the bottom of the tent is made of 20D silicone waterproof nylon with waterproof index of 5000 mm. Its durability is going to be further tested while using it more. One of the main reasons why we decided to purchase this tent was its lightweight. As we already have one heavy, reliable tent for the long months of traveling and hiking, we wanted to have one more lightweight tent for shorter trips. But we'll see how it will keep up its promises.
The full weight of the kit is around 1 kg, and the state-only tent weight is 915 grams. It can be compressed down to the size of 34 to 15 centimeters. It comes in a nice compression bag with the 8 packs, 1 windrobe, 1 syringe for gluing, footprint in its back, and 2 heat repair patches for the bottom of the inner tent. Also, after we discovered the great simple red aluminum MSR packs, we don't actually like angle packs like that anymore, because they get easily stuck in the ground and collect more dirt. We have tried MSR packs in different terrains, in different conditions, and even if they seem unreliable at first, the time and tests proved it wrong. So for sure we'll be using our preferred MSR packs.
Starting the setup of this tent, you lay down the footprint first and then install the packs on 4 sides of it. Then roll out the tent and find the bottom guidelines of the tent. Then first installing the bottom ground sheet lines in place. This tent is not self-standing, as you may know, and it needs the support of the trekking poles for the structure. This was the most unusual thing about it for us, and it was our first experience installing the tent like this. At first, we were a bit concerned about how it will work and whether it will stand properly, but it actually stands just fine. So installing the 2 trekking poles in its place. At the bottom base there is an elastic ring where you need to insert the pole. And for the upper part, the pole goes into the specific place made for it to fit, so it is very easy to figure out. And that's it for the installation of the trekking poles. We used the most basic budget trekking pole from Decathlon you can find, and it worked fine. Ideally, at this point you need an assistant of the second person to hold up the construction in place while you are stretching the guidelines on the sides. But of course you can do it by yourself too. Then in order to seal the tent in place, you need to install the guideline next to the trekking pole so that it stays parallel to the ground and is straight, since the shape of the tent will depend on it. After that, you can install the second upper guidelines attached to the fly sheet on 4 corners that are adjustable and can provide you the more delicate adjustment. you finish the installment of the last two guidelines on the opposite sides. It took us around 10 minutes to set it up for the first time, and we didn't find it complicated at all, but that's of course counting our previous experience with several different tents. Of course, in the windy conditions, the setting up will always be more difficult with any tent. This particular tent can be called a single wall one because the sides and the roof are joined together. And we know that there were some other models of this tent where you could take the flysheet off. But in this case, in the latest model, Lanshan Pro, they probably tried to make it even more lightweight this way. We took our tent in the green color and we think it's quite nice to blend in the environment. But only after we realized that there was a brown color as well available, and if we knew that before, we would prefer this one for the stealth camping reason, of course. And also there is a gray color available that we found a bit too light. The dimensions of the inside room of this tent are 230 cm long, 120 cm wide and 120 cm high. As we enter inside, we have a zipper going in the middle of the vestibule. Also, there are two vestibules on both sides that we find very nice. They are not as spacious as we have in our MSR tent, and they are of a decent size for leaving the backpack and the shoes. Also, you can roll up and open both vestibule doors if you need. As you can see, we have the 4-season option tent with the very little mesh at the upper part, because we simply don't like the tent to have too much meshed parts. But there are more popular 3-season tents of the same model, where the mesh goes all the way down, almost to the ground. And this is actually one of the only differences between 3-season and 4-season model as we have. The difference in weight is not that significant neither, and the condensation issue we'll still have to check. So when you're inside the tent body, it feels very spacious and airy. We like the white color of it, that creates an illusion of even more space. And with our trekking pole at its maximum height of 120 centimeters, it becomes even higher at its peak than our MSR tent. And you have the walls gradually coming down to the ground, so that you don't really have the narrow corners. We've heard that the company upgraded the model to the Pro version, making it more spacious in length and width. And we personally think they were able to do it by making it a single wall tent.
It seems like there is enough space for 2 people, and putting some extra stuff on the sides too. We think like it's the longest tent we've ever had. Has plenty of room in the feet. We think you can fit 2 backpacks there. There is a small pocket at the head, and 2 hooks for hanging the headlight or anything needed. For the ventilation, it has, in our case, the small meshed parts at the upper part of the roof and 2 ventilation openings. And also 2 meshed rectangles at the very bottom of the head and feet part. This kind of placement of ventilation is new for us, and we'll see how it will show its effectiveness with time.
This tent, because of the double-coated silicone it is made of, comes with the non-sealed seams that cannot be glued by a manufacturer. So it is necessary to buy your own glue and seal it all yourself. It will take quite some time, but it is necessary to do in order for your tent to become truly waterproof. We didn't have any experience with it previously, but after watching several video tutorials, we tried to copy it as well as we could. The glue recommended to us by the manufacturer was the Gear 8 Seam Grip Silicone Sealant. It came with a little brush too. We used the syringe to put the glue in first, and we found it very convenient and useful tool, without which it wouldn't be possible to do at all. We sealed all the outer seams that were in contact with the inner tent body and vestibules too. We didn't have enough glue left for doing all the internal seams to double it up, but we think it will be enough with doing the main ones. It took us around 3 hours to make it, and the glue dried up in 6 hours or so, which is not bad. The whole process can create a bit of inconvenience, as you have to dedicate some time to it. But we personally combined it with our camping night out, doing it in the evening and sleeping in the separate tent. So we left it standing until the next morning. will show you the wrapping of the stand. Basically, you repeat all the setting up steps in reverse order, and it is even more effortless than setting it up. First, unpegging all the main guidelines on the sides and basically packing the pegs first, so that it will be easier to get a hold of the tracking post with no extra pressure. Then dismounting the tracking post, folding the tent body in half, and then repeat again, and rolling it up tightly together. The footprint packs in the separate bag that comes in the kit. Then compressing it all using its pack. And here you have it, our first impressions and first pitch up for the Lanshan Pro 2-person tent.
Summing up all said above, we can say we quite like this tent, for how light, compact and cost-efficient it is. It is spacious and feels roomy inside. Setup and wrap-up process, it is very quick and easy, due to the simplicity of construction. Now we're very excited to testing more in the field, doing some hiking trip this summer, and then being able to share with you our honest opinion and detailed review after use.
And now it's your turn to leave us a comment sharing your experience with this tent and any questions or advice you may have. Make sure to check out our other tent reviews, as well as plenty of different camping and hiking gear reviews. Hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if you enjoy videos like this one. And don't forget about notification bell to never miss any new videos from us.
We say goodbye for now and see you all in our next video.
Bye guys!